Welcome back to Cheesehead Chatter. It's opening day tomorrow, finally, for Major League Baseball. It feels like it's taken forever to get here, but we know the Brewers opening day roster is virtually set except one spot. We pick our division winners for the American League. See back to last week's episode for our National League predictions, as well as MVP for both leagues, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year, and Manager of the Year. But before we get started, we must thank our presenting sponsor, Insect Hobby Design Co.
Once again, this episode is brought to you by Insect Hobby Design Co. Insect Hobby Design Co. has over 20 years of expertise in branding, design, illustration, and web development. Insect Hobby Design Co. brings a wealth of experience to the table. Whether you're a small business aiming for a standout identity or a nonprofit aiming for a profit enterprise seeking impactful individual or visuals. Ooh, excuse me. Their team is here to elevate your brand with precision and creativity. We'd also like to give them an extra special thank you again for getting us suited up with these amazing microphones. Thank you so much. To learn more about Insect Hobby Design Co., go to insecthobby.com. Thank you.
Thank you for filling in for me, Jay-Z.
Thanks, Jacob.
Glad to fill in for you.
So we know virtually what the opening day roster is going to be. Churio made it, Terang, Monasterio. I think I saw we're at like 8 or 9 making their first opening day roster, which is pretty crazy.
That is crazy. The youth on this team just coming into the season is very, very eye-opening. But I also think a lot of them are up to the task of making their first debut.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you. The only spot that's left now is with Garrett Mitchell breaking a finger, which it's on his glove hand. So it says 6 to 8 weeks, but it's his glove hand. So it must really feel awkward to catch that we can't just, tape it up and get after it. It must more affect his swing, given it's his top hand.
Barry was catching for him today out in the field. He was playing catch today, but Barry had the glove on his hand, and Mitchell was still throwing the ball. So it was good to see him being active. Hopefully that means it's not going to be too long term, but definitely telling to see that Barry was playing catch for him.
And great to have him around the squad still.
Things up.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Vibes. That energy is infectious.
Huge vibes guy.
I think what makes it tough now, though, is we know Sal was going to play more third base, but I think that experiment, I don't want to say it's on hold, but it's definitely not going to be as much of a thing until Mitchell's back.
Yeah, I think we can pencil Sal in to be the starting center fielder for opening day, and especially since the Brewers have expressed concerns about Churio's defense. It sounds like they're going to start him off in right field for the most part. I think Murphy did confirm that he will be in the starting lineup opening day, but we could probably see him in right field just to get him more outfield reps and get comfortable with being a big league outfielder.
Yeah, I feel like Churio doesn't make the roster if he's not starting game one. You don't just like give him money and just like throw him into the fire just cause he obviously won a job, and I think he's up for the task in right field because it's less demanding and it's just good to acclimate him into the big league outfield, just kind of like what they started with Weimer last year until Garrett Mitchell got hurt. And I felt like it helped Weimer in center field to have that experience in right field.
Oh, I totally agree with you. But that means there's kind of a spot open. I'm on record that I think it should go to Erik Kratz just because he went crazy this spring. But I also understand that they've talked about that it's tough to justify 3 catchers. Just gonna throw this out there. Erik Kratz, seldom used part of his game, has played a decent amount of left field.
Yeah, I hasn't he only DH'd and caught during the spring, unfortunately, so I don't think they see him as some sort of defensive option out in the field. I have seen Oliver Dunn in New York for the series, so we're gonna do some assuming here. This is not confirmed, but probably it'll be Oliver Dunn making the roster. Hopefully the Brewers could flip Erik Haas for some sort of maybe cash considerations,
Always good to have him.
always good to have him around. Can never have too much cash. Or maybe a flyer lottery prospect, but yeah, I just don't think Erik Haas has at
That's
bats right now.
that's the thing with DFA. You can DFA him today, and you can trade him a week later within there.
Yeah.
So you could get more time to find a potential trade partner.
I think what helps Dunn is he's a left-handed bat.
Yep.
My problem is I see Gary Sanchez as more of a DH option. I feel like they signed him as a DH, and I feel like that would justify having 3 catchers on the roster just for the fact that Gary Sanchez is a DH and is signed as a DH.
I'm trying to think back. This kind of reminds you a little bit of the situation in, what was it, 18, I want to say, with the first baseman where they signed G-Man. They had Thames and Jesus, and they kept all 3 coming out of camp. And then they traded G-Man. Can't remember what part of the season
After
it was
opening
in.
day, after he had a go-ahead.
Yeah.
After he had a go-ahead double on opening day.
Didn't they also like want to try Thames in the outfield? Wasn't he playing right, or was it left?
They tried it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty, but they tried it.
Look, we've seen Keston in the outfield. We lived with Chris Davis in the outfield.
Yelich played right field for a full season, 2 seasons. So
we've seen Ryan Braun.
He's a Gold Glove center fielder.
Yes, we all know Christian Yelich has obtained a Gold Glove for his center field play in Miami. Yes, thank you, Gabe.
We've seen some interesting outfield combinations.
I mean, we've seen Tyler Saladino play everywhere.
We've seen VR play center field.
That was an experience.
I don't know. The Brewers are always right now. It seems like they're trying to prioritize defense, and with Erik Haas, with him not taking any reps, I'm guessing they just didn't see where he fit within the roster unless it was behind the dish.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. But what do you guys think what do you think the lineup's gonna be? Opening day. Is it Sal leadoff?
I think center? After Garrett going down, because the way that they were kind of lining it up towards the end of spring training there, they wanted Garrett leading off, but I think Sal has to be 1. I don't see anyone else who's other than Yelich, which Murphy's on record of saying that he wants him to bat 3rd. So what? Sal, and then William Contreras, I would assume would be the 2nd spot. Yelich, and then Hoskins would be your top 4 at least.
Yeah, I'd go Gary and then Adames.
I'm with you. Gary, I like Adames in that 6th spot a lot.
I like Adames in the 6.
Me too. And I do think that they might put him in the 5 just because he's slightly faster than Gary, and he has been hitting in the 5 during spring. So I could definitely see Murphy also doing that. Because I feel Willie's gonna have a big year. I think
I gotta throw this out.
Over. Yes,
doesn't it feel great that we're actually talking about a situation where it's like, hey, 60. Either of these guys could hit 5 and 6. Like, I feel even though the Brewers have won 3 division titles since 2018, I feel like we've talked about lineups where it's like you get past 4 and it's just like
maybe they
get back to the top.
I mean, Council also kind of put that in our brains though.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, so we got the top 3 hitters. Who's next?
Yeah. Shake the dice. Who's closest? Pick a number between 1 and 10.
7.
Like, we're at the point now where, like, to me, I think Monasterio probably hit 7 opening day with Quintana pitching.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I would go Churio there just to give him a little bit more, I don't even want to call protection, but like in more of an RBI spot. And to me, that 7th spot's another second leadoff.
I want to see him at 9, Terang at 8, and then Monasterio at 7. Because
Mhm.
Murphy's already said that Terang is going to be starting opening day. That was also before they knew Quintana was going to be starting. So, but I don't know. I like Churio trying having a little bit of protection with Sal behind them.
I'm gonna throw this out there. Murphy also mentioned that he would prefer Perkins in center field versus right or versus lefties. Um, so now now is Sal gonna start opening day? If it's in center field, if it's at third base, like third base is still in the air. If
It's
they,
very much so. I mean, Ortiz made the roster too. I won't.
Mhm.
I would hope that he would start opening day since Quintana's on the mound.
Yeah,
But I
I'd want
guess
him over Terang, but
100. I don't think that would be. That's even a discussion.
between Ortiz and Monasterio, they both have pretty solid springs. So I
Yeah,
guess it's just more of a matter of, do you just say whatever and get Ortiz's feet wet right away too? I mean, he's got some big league at bats at least more than Churio, but it's a whole new situation for him.
I just think Ortiz has a little bit more thunder in his bat than Monasterio.
And you got to think they're going to see two lefties this weekend between
Right.
Quintana and Manaya.
Where is he slotted to go? 3? Is he
I
like
got to
3?
imagine Manaya is either 2 or 3.
True, because Kodai's down. And I
Mhm.
did see that DL Hall is going to pitch the Saturday game for the Brewers. So,
Which makes a race Sunday.
I don't see how he's
Ray's
not.
going Sunday. Yeah.
Severino for the Mets Saturday
Okay.
and Tyler McGill
McGill.
Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Ooh.
so Manaya's their 4.
That's interesting because he's
That's
been
super.
upticking, has an
He's
uptick in his
actually,
fastball. Yeah.
yeah, Velo's up. Changeup apparently has been nasty too.
That's interesting to me. But that
Unless they
Saturday
don't.
game, ooh, Severino and DL Hall, that should be a good pitching matchup.
It's actually
Lots
kind of
of
electric.
lots of velocity,
A
at
lot
least
of
for the first
velocity.
3 innings.
I want to say this before I forget. I really hope we win this series so Frank the Tank can have his meltdown right off the bat.
Started
Start off
early.
the season hot.
Who do you think is going to be the brewer that crushes his dreams? Who's going to be the one he's most angry at?
It's got to be
Hoskins.
Monasterio.
No, it's
Monasterio?
got to be Reese because it's coming from a former Philly.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
That's true. That is very true.
I don't know. I think if Gary puts one out, I think with him being also a New York guy too, I could see him just absolutely.
Well,
losing it.
Gary
Last-
Sanchez.
And
Last year we
Tyrone
took.
goes like 0 for 10 in the series or
Oh
something.
my god! Last year we took 3 out of 4 from the Mets, and Williams made Starling Marte look silly in the 9th inning, and it gave us one of the best. He's saying, "How many F's does Marte give? 0." It was comedy.
Wasn't that with the bases loaded too? Like,
Yes, yes.
He legit did not look like he cared in that bat.
He was swinging that change ups in the dirt, which I mean, I'd be doing the same thing if I was facing
Oh
Devin
yeah,
Williams. But
100%.
So
made
I
for a
mean
good
the
rant.
lineup we get Friday will definitely, for the most part, I mean, you can pretty much schedule 2 through 6 in the lineup
In some sort
150
of
hopefully times.
Yeah.
Yep.
If we could get a Jake Bauer start in this series by Sunday,
Oh boy.
depends on how they want to manage Sanchez.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
Bauer's had a really good spring.
Yeah, he did. One thing I'm kind of curious to
So-
see throughout the year with Murphy is when, like the past few years, Council, whenever a guy was called up, you typically see him in the lineup the day of, getting him into the action right away. And you guys kind of mentioned this earlier with Ortiz getting his feet wet. I'm curious to see how Murphy manages that this year, bringing guys up because we're going to be seeing a lot of guys come up this year. I'm curious to
Why
see
do
if
I
Murphy
feel like
changes that.
I feel like that was a Pat thing. Like, he got in Council's ear and was like, we got to just do, like, there's no point to have him here and sit. It's the same thing you do with, like, kids, basically. Like,
Right.
I mean, I feel like that's a reason
You get the
Churio's
ner-
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. 100%.
Get the nerves out. And getting to open. I hate that they're on the road to start the year. I hate it. But get Churio a couple games before making his Am-Fam Clam debut.
Yeah,
I don't
great
know
idea by
how
the
they're on the
MLB.
road. Yeah, Cal, I think this one's all you, man.
Yeah, let it eat.
Let's see. I can't remember the last time the Brewers had a true opening day in Milwaukee. They are a team with a retractable roof. So let's send them out to New York. But they also have teams like the Cubs going down to Texas, start their series there. They got New York's in Houston, the Yankees. Cardinals are in Los Angeles. But let's send the Brewers with a retractable roof out to New York, where they already got their game postponed, opening day.
Same with
Great idea,
Phillies
Rob
and
Manfred.
Braves.
It
I
just
just
really
don't
doesn't
understand.
make too much sense. Like, I get it that they want the Brewers or they want teams opening in big markets to really promote the start of the season and for those to be the first games of the year, but I just don't get why they would send them off to somewhere without a roof.
The only team, I will say this, the only team that's guaranteed to start the year at home should be the World Series winner from the previous year. So I
Agreed.
guess climate doesn't matter there. But, like, there is no issue flipping the series from Queens, New York to Am-Fam to start the year. Like, I don't know. And also, can we get a...
How is the hope?
Okay. Welcome back, Cal.
Thank you.
But like, can we get a division series at home to start the year? Like, how fun would it be? Brewers, Cubs, Cardinals, Brewers, opening day, Am-Fam. Like, that's how you get it juiced up. I'm sorry. Yes, I will watch some of Cubs Rangers tomorrow's night, but like, that's not like, who cares?
Yeah.
Even if it's
I mean, those
your
fan bases care,
interleague,
but
even
like,
if it's your interleague just rival, I know doesn't each team has their own interleague rival. Like you start out with
yeah,
that one.
Twins.
Yeah, even if everyone started off with one of those matchups to have every year, that way it's set in stone and everything's well put together, and it's just frustrating as a fan
Well,
to get excited for opening day and then have it just canceled.
the last few years we've opened up in Chicago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
but I
like
would
think
love one of those at home.
exactly. They got it going there. Switch it up every other year or something.
I'm with you. So, who you guys got winning the AL East?
I don't see how the Orioles don't win that division.
Yeah.
I think
It's
it's the
theirs to
Yankees
lose.
if they stay healthy.
I got the Rays. It's really hard to pick
Ooh.
against the Rays right now.
Oh wow.
I like it though. But yeah, I'm going Yankees as long as they
For
stay
Yankees.
healthy.
That's a
Here's the thing
big
though.
caveat.
Yeah.
The winner, the last place in that division is still going to win 80 plus games.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah,
Like
they'll
even
be
the
over
Red
500.
Sox.
Yeah, even though I think the Red Sox will be last place. I even think the Yankees could be battling for the cellar with them. But that just shows how deep that division is as a whole.
I think
For
every team is battling for the cellar, but they're also battling for the top of the division.
Yeah, they're
except the
just
Red
avoiding they're battling to avoid being at the bottom.
Sox.
Like, because if you're the team that misses the division or misses the playoffs in that division, somebody's getting fired.
Oh, 100%.
And if it's the Yankees, Soto walks.
Mhm.
Yes. I could honestly see the Blue Jays being last in that division.
hmm
I could as
I
well.
don't
Yeah.
know. I think their pitching
I could
insanely
see
deep if Manoa has a bounce back year.
I could see everybody getting first. I could see everybody getting like third. Like,
Oh yeah.
so the opposite end of the spectrum, a great division, the AL East, the AL Central, much like the NL Central, has
Who
a lot of
knows?
question marks.
I'm
I
gonna
think the White Sox get last place. I think that's a pretty easy one to start
Safe
out
bet.
with. Safe bet.
I'm,
All right.
I'm gonna throw out a team that you're probably not thinking of. I do see the Detroit Tigers somehow coming out of that division on top.
Scooble was
They're gonna
up
be
to
sol-
what?
they're gonna be solid.
98.
Yeah, Scooble's nasty.
Imagine if they
As
had
long-
a good Baez too. He's been knocking
Oh.
the cover off the ball in spring.
Good. Serviceable. Like,
His
we'll go
feet-
league average. Like, he's not
his-
even close.
Yeah.
I mean, if knocking the cover off the ball is ground outs to second base, I mean, yeah,
No,
he's destroying the ball.
Did you see that video of one of his spring training at bats where he just took this massive hack and it's a little dribbler
Yes.
that the catcher just picks up? Oh, what a
Yeah,
shame.
his at bats this spring have been awful.
Yeah.
What a shame.
I got the
I've got
Guardians.
the Royals winning that division. Oh, I like the Guardians though.
I was
But I've-
between the Tigers and the Royals.
I got the Royals. They actually added some nice pieces for pitching, and it's like they're coming.
Watch out!
slowly,
I
but they're
I
coming.
picked up Cole Raggins in fantasy baseball. Watch out!
Jay-Z, who you got in the Central?
I'm gonna agree with Gabe with Detroit. I think their pitching's too deep with Mize, Scooble, and then with Jackson Job throwing absolute gas. So I think those three will really carry the ship for them, and I think Detroit's gonna win this one.
And then the West.
It's hard to pick against Houston.
It is really
It's
hard to pick against
not-
Houston.
It's not Oakland,
No,
No, another
Just
safe
like
bet.
White
but
Sox,
I
it's not Oakland.
I am going with Seattle.
63%.
I think that is the best pitching rotation in the division, and it's definitely top 5 in Major League Baseball.
There is a chance that the Rangers miss the playoffs.
It's a little bit like the AL East to me.
It
where
very much is.
Everybody could get first or they could get third unless you're Oakland.
Maybe the Angels too.
Also, sorry, speaking of Oakland, Cardinals fans are really excited about Victor Scott II, but every tweet I've seen is comparing him to Esteury Ruiz.
And the Brewers traded him away for William Contreras, by the way.
They were gifted William Contreras.
Yeah.
And Joel Payamps.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, if you're gonna compare a guy, this is no disrespect to Esteury Ruiz. I'm sure he's a fantastic human being. But he's not exactly, Bobby Witt Jr. on the
Hey, if he
baseball
gets-
field.
Right.
If he gets on base, it's 2 stolen bases, but it's a big if.
Yeah,
gotta get
that's
on
the same with
base.
Victor Scott II. He's got to
I
get on
saw
base.
I saw projected.
Here's the worst part. Ruiz had better stats in the minor leagues than Victor Scott II.
Cardinals
What are you saying,
blunder
Cal?
lab.
I saw a projected opening day lineup for the Athletics, and Ruiz didn't even crack it.
No
he
way.
did
Yeah. No, he didn't crack the lineup.
Oh, is Lawrence Butler in center?
Yeah, probably. Who's your guys' AL MVP pick?
I was actually debating between 2 Yankees, but I'm gonna give the edge to Juan Soto. I think Juan Soto wins AL MVP.
That is a really good pick. He's looked really, really good this spring.
I'm on
He's
J-Rod.
on pinstripes.
I'm on J-Rod.
J-Rod?
Ooh,
Ooh, I
J-Rod's
like
a
that.
great pick. And
I
if
like
he
that.
wins MVP, they win the division.
Absolutely, and I'm here for that.
It's a tough one. There's a pretty soft. I am going to go Corey Seager.
Ooh,
I like that.
that
As
one,
long as
I
he-
like that.
As long as that herniated disc is not that bad.
I'm gonna go a little bit out there. I think Yordan Alvarez absolutely
I like it.
breaks out. I think
Here-
he could bat 350 with 40 bombs, and that wins him MVP.
Here's the issue, though. And is he going to play left field or is he going to be primarily DH?
I think he could have one of those seasons where his bat carries him to be the MVP. Just DH.
Because no primary DH has ever won MVP.
I could see his bat doing that though. He's
I could see it.
starting to get to round in the shape of like his pure prime and hitting in that lineup in Houston. He has protection all around him. I just think he's one of the best pure hitters in the league.
I am gonna put two guys that I could also see winning MVP. Bobby Witt and
Mhm.
Jose Ramirez. Those
I was
are my dark
debating with them
horses.
too. I was debating with those two too before I said Seager. How about NL?
I think Ronald repeats.
It's a great pick.
I
I'm
got
trying not to
Mookie.
live on the try not to live on this like chalked road, the nice paved path. I don't know, Cal, who do you got?
I got Freddie Freeman.
Ooh.
I like it. I like it.
I do have a thing for me though. I think William Contreras is top 3 this year in MVP
Yes.
votes. Though
Yes.
I
think
agree.
he gets a lot of MVP votes and possibly cracks. Maybe gets MVP because of his defense and his offense behind the dish. Top 3, maybe 1, maybe.
I am going to go Austin Riley.
I like it.
I don't think it's that crazy a pick. He's got a lot of protection. I'm looking at the Braves lineup right now. Albies in front of him and Olsen
Yep.
behind him.
Those are 2 very good guys to be protected by.
AL Cy Young.
This is gonna go with my AL Central division pick. I am going Tariq Skubal as long as he stays healthy.
I love it.
He's been
I'm going
filthy.
Cole Ragans.
Ooh.
His fastball's upticked every year, and he's got a nasty slider. That, and I draft him in fantasy baseball, and would love to be right about this.
Me too.
I don't know. I'm with Gabe. I think Scooble's just too nasty. I think he takes a big leap again.
I'll go with my prediction for the AL Central, and I'll say Tanner Bibby.
Oh, we are on the Central for the side.
AL Central pitching
That
division.
tells
I
us what we.
guess.
I
mean,
think
if
that
they
tells
can't
us what
hit,
we
they
think
can't
about the
hit.
bats.
Like,
Um,
yeah.
I do enjoy that none of us said Corbin Burns because,
I do not think.
I was just about to make a
Crack
joke
top
about
5.
that.
but like it's if anybody out there wants to have a little fun, please go look at his baseball savant since he won the Cy Young. It's disturbingly
Blue.
downhill.
Spider Tech
Blue.
Merchant.
NL Cy Young.
All right. So the reigning Cy Young joined San Francisco to give the award to Logan Webb.
Oh, I like it.
Really? Okay.
I find it hard that someone out of that division's going to win it because of the offense, but I love that pick.
I'm going to do a homer pick. I think Freddie Peralta has a big year and wins Cy Young. He's been
I like
building
it.
up to it. His
I've
fastball is
got-
uptaken, and I like his stuff.
I've got a couple of I got a homer pick coming later.
I'm sure we all do.
I'm going to go with Montgomery. Just signed with the D-backs. I could see it. I don't want to be chalky, so I'll take Montgomery.
Okay. I like that.
I am going to go with Zach Wheeler.
That,
That's
I
what I
was,
was
I was
thinking
thinking
too.
about
That
the
is a
same
great
thing.
pick.
He just signed an extension, so he's settled. I think the weight's off and he just dices. And he gets the run support
Yeah.
from Philly.
You know, I'm gonna change mine real quick. I think Freddie gets second place. I think Spencer Strider runs away with this award this year.
Yeah, I just didn't want to say it.
Yeah, I kind of looked at spring stats. I know spring stats don't mean nothing, but in
He's kind of dicing.
in what is it, 22 innings, he has 35 strikeouts, or 22 and 2/3 innings, he has
Yeah,
35 strikeouts and 8 walks. So
And his
I would,
curveball is stupid.
yeah. So all right, I changed my pick. Freddie's getting second place. I'm okay. I can live with that.
And Montgomery facing the Dodgers
Strider,
every few starts is going to be tough for my prediction.
That might hurt you.
Strider
But
is the obvious pick, and I just don't want to be. I don't want to be chalk, but it definitely feels like Strider's
yeah,
award to lose.
Strider's my number one, and Freddie's my stretch, I guess.
AL Rookie of the Year.
Wyatt
I'm
Langford.
taking Wyatt. I'm taking Wyatt Langford.
He is a man amongst boys. He just looks like a pro hitter. It's just
Mhm.
scary how good he is in the box. I'll
I
give a
don't-
pitcher, but I think Jackson Jobe, if he has a full year with the Detroit Tigers, he would be my pitcher pick.
If they go Cy Young and Rookie of the Year both on the mound, they've won the division. They might actually be playing. They might even be in the ALCS then.
Yep.
I
I wanna
don't
say-
want. I don't want to say Wyatt Langford, but like, it's really hard
Yeah.
not to pick Wyatt Langford.
Yeah, this might be
I-
chalk.
I would say Jackson Holiday if he made the roster,
Yeah.
but
He could
Who
still,
knows?
but
Yeah, but
I know he could still, but
Does Zach Geloff still qualify as a rookie? Because I may change to him just because he's nasty.
well, doesn't Evan Carter still qualify as a rookie
yes,
too?
Evan Carter does
Yeah.
qualify as a
Oh.
rookie.
So, I mean, there might be guys in the same top half of the order battling for the same award. So,
And that's a pretty tough. No, Geloff does no longer qualify as a rookie.
pain.
So Langford.
I'm just gonna
Does
Be-
Jordan Westberg? Because maybe.
I'm gonna be different because I want to.
Be
And I just
different.
looked up MLB rookie odds. I'm gonna go Nolan Chanel because he looked
Oh, I
really
like that.
good. He looked good as a pro hitter last year, and I feel like he can build off of that.
I'm actually shocked he still qualifies because I feel like he played every day as soon as he came up.
Me too.
Cal, are you Wyatt Langford too?
yeah. I was gonna say Holiday, but
So
who knows when
so
he's gonna be up.
Put
So
out
the
6 in
odds-
the spring. Wyatt
the
Langford
odds
put
are-
out 6 bombs in the spring. That's crazy.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Rangers are at the top of the odds.
Yeah, Langford and Carter.
Yeah.
Langford or yeah, Langford makes Carter look really small.
Wyatt Langford is a pretty big guy.
NL Rookie of the Year. Jay-Z.
Yamamoto. Oh, sorry.
Ooh,
Oh, I liked it though.
I like that it won't be chalk because I think Churio might mess around and win this one.
I hope he does.
That's a dream, but I think Cal might have a more realistic with.
I
the
saw
Yamamoto.
Mark
With
Feinzand.
Yoshi.
I believe it was Feinzand. Predicted
He had
Pat Murphy
Churio.
Manager of the Year and Churio
Yup.
and all Rookie of the Year.
I just saw that tweet actually.
Yeah, and he has the Brewers winning the division as well. Shout out
Mhm.
to him.
Yeah.
If
I'm
the
gonna
Brewers win
go
division,
the
I
only
don't see how
believer.
Pat doesn't.
I'm gonna go shortstop turned outfielder because they needed his bat in the lineup. Jackson Merrill.
That is a really good pick.
That's a good pick.
It's a good pick. And he's gonna play a lot.
Yup.
I want to say Churio. I really do. But I don't want to be that homerish. Let's put it this way. If Churio wins it, I love it.
But it
Like,
just shows
we're
how
all pumped.
excited we are for him, and I feel like we're a pretty objective group, and for us to be considering him for that award, yes, it is Homer-ish, but we've also seen other national
I mean,
outlets
You could
predict
you could
it.
be Homer and choose DL Hall, who won the number 2.
That is true, and his odds are pretty nice. Hold on, let me pull up.
All
Rook-
the international guys went to the NL, so it's like hard.
Yeah, you could go Jung Ho too with the Giants.
Let's look at. I like
Yeah,
that
his
idea.
exit
He is
velocity
the
has been crazy.
second lowest odds. Yamamoto is the leader. And then it's
And
Cheerio.
then
I like
that
how they put Churro as a sleeper with plus 550 odds. Like that's not
Yeah.
sleeper.
I guess they think Yamamoto is just gonna absolutely run away with it then, if that's their if they're considering that sleeping
All
in
right,
second place.
Churro's my number one, but I'm gonna try not to be a homer here, and I'm gonna take Kyle Harrison.
Mm.
I like that.
Oh, he's gonna shove.
The
He's-
Giants.
He's gonna be there 4-5. I think the Giants missed the playoffs by one game.
I have them as second place after the Snell signing.
I think the Diamondbacks get second.
I think the Diamondbacks get third.
I think the Padres get fourth.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not very high on the Padres.
Nope.
The Padres
You never are.
struggling.
A lot of people are much higher on the Padres than I am.
I am very, very low.
It's hard to
Roster
see them-
construction's poor.
It's hard to see them in the playoffs with the Diamondbacks adding on to their World Series team and the Giants also adding on to their team.
Mhm.
With quality big leaguers too in San Fran. Like that's a
right.
decent squad.
NL manager or AL manager of the year first.
I
Stephen
mean,
Vogt. Stephen Vogt. I believe.
okay,
Got him winning.
okay.
If
So
they're winning the
I'm gonna
division, I got Stephen Vogt.
so
I
like,
like it.
since you're going Stephen Vogt, since they're your division champs, I'm gonna go AJ Hinch because the Tigers are my division champs.
And I think if the Tigers win the division, he deserves it.
AL. Well, I'm gonna take the Mariners then and go Scott Service.
I'll be
Homegrown,
lame.
local
I'll be
guy.
lame. I'll go with Gabe. AJ Hinch. I think the Tigers make a big step forward this year because I mean they've made steps forward every year with him at the helm, and I think this is the year that it all like culminates together.
And finally, NL manager of the year.
I'll be a homer with this one and take Murphy.
Yep, 100% a homer on this one. This is my
Yep.
homer pick. It's Pat Murphy.
I'll die for Pat.
And if it's not Pat, I'm gonna be honest with you. I love Pat, and I think Pat's gonna win it. That's my pick. And if it's not Pat, I'm gonna go David Martinez.
Really?
I like the Nationals more than some people. Problem is, they're not gonna win enough in that division. So Pat Murphy gonna win the division his first year.
Everything I've
I'm
seen
gonna-
is just nothing but positivity, and like the guys want to play for him, and I think they're gonna convince themselves into winning the division, and I think if the Brewers do win the Central and surprise a lot of people, I don't see how they don't give it to them, especially after Council leaves, and then still winning the division the year after. The highest paid manager in the league takes that big deal, leaves them for dead or whatever, and then the old man steps in and takes over and rallies the troops and is revealed as what might be probably what most of us are now thinking is the mastermind behind it all. So
He said it
really-
himself. This isn't them giving the old man a shot. He wants to win every single game.
Yep.
And at the start of
He's gonna
camp,
do all in his all
He
in
also
his power.
said, "Hey, they may mess around and believe they can contend."
I think they've already been messing
and
around a little
this
bit.
shouldn't be a surprise if we're good again.
Right?
Really shouldn't be.
So
They've
Because
actually
the
gotten
national outlets.
better.
Yeah,
I-
but
I
the
haven't-
national outlets.
I have not said mine yet.
Yes, Gabe.
Sorry, Gabe, go ahead.
Um,
I don't think
If-
Jake actually said one either. Must go on Murphy.
I'm
if
going with Murphy. I'm all in.
Yeah.
if
Alright.
slash when the Phillies win the division, it's gonna be Rob Thompson.
Whoa, okay.
I
Wow.
I think the Phillies dethrone the Braves.
I honestly I could see it.
I could see it as well. I like the Phillies, so take
That's
it easy
that's
on
why
me.
that's why I think if the Phillies win the division, it's Rob Thompson.
Yeah, I could see it.
Did he win it? What was that in 22? The year they fired.
No,
Who'd they fire?
I don't believe so. They,
I'm blanking on the guy they fired.
they fired
Joe-
Joe Girardi.
Girardi. And he came in because they were bad when they fired Girardi.
No, they gave it to Buck Showalter.
It was Buck Showalter. And Terry Francona was AL. Man, the old guys.
Yeah.
Congrats on retirement.
Good for them.
Deserved. Well deserved retirement
Well deserved.
for Tito.
Well deserved.
But that's pretty much where we're gonna wrap this one up.
Whoa, let's
We'll
predict
be back.
how many games
Okay.
the Brewers win before the season starts. I'm sorry, but I got them win
Yeah,
at
we got
94.
to.
I got 94.
I got 92 again. But it's because their offense this time, not because of their pitching.
Pitching, yeah.
I'm at 90.
90.
You know what? I'll go under 90. I'll go 89. I think 89 and win the division. I think with the Reds now losing what seems to be everyone, the Cubs I don't think did enough to get that much better. Cardinals I think might even be last place, and the Pirates are going to surprise some people this year. So I see the Brewers.
Welcome to the retirement home. The Cardinals are a retirement home. The Pirates are too young.
Yep.
The Reds are now injured.
They're finding their identity.
Injured and or suspended.
Yep.
And I think everybody thinks Council's a savior, and I think he's actually gonna have to answer questions in the media. And we're just gonna, put the guys out there. That's not gonna fly in Chicago.
Nope.
A lot of those.
They're gonna get. I feel like they're gonna get sick and tired of him really quickly.
It's gonna be awesome.
I can't wait.
The Chicago Cubs fans like seeing the same 9 people out on the field every single day.
Oh yes, they do. Yes, they do.
And
They're
Craig
not gonna see that.
Counsell is the opposite of seeing the same 9 guys on the field every single day.
I think AJ said it last week when Steele's going 5 innings shutout, and then he gets that third time through the order and he's yanked. Oh boy, they are in for a rude awakening.
For some middle reliever that's going to give up 5 runs.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Their bullpen's locked down.
All right. Before we sign off, give me one hot take for the MLB season, and then we're shutting it down.
Ooh.
I have one. I'll go first.
Okay.
The San Francisco Giants are winning the NL West.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay. Cal?
I think this might be crazy to say. Trout reminds everyone he's the greatest baseball player and he hits 45 bombs.
Okay.
Wow.
But he has to stay healthy in order for that to happen, which probably won't happen.
The Pirates finish with a better record than the Cardinals.
Ooh.
I like that. I could get behind that.
I
I don't know if that's that hot though.
It is when the media and the books love the Cardinals.
That is true.
Jake, what do you got?
I think at least 5 guys in the Brewers lineup will put out at least 25 bombs this year.
Love it.
Refreshing to
William
see.
puts out at least 25. I think Yelich puts out at least 25. Hoskins puts out at least 25. Adames puts out at least 25, and Gary Sanchez puts out 25. Which
Who's
I don't
the first
think
one?
William Contreras.
Oh, okay.
I don't think that's very unreasonable, and I wouldn't be also shocked if a 6th guy pops out 25 for the Brewers either.
Reese.
Yeah, me either.
You didn't even say Reese, did you?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I said
okay.
Reese.
Okay.
All right. Thank you everybody for joining us. Do us a favor, hit us up on all the socials, and claws up.
Always claws.
Always claws up.
Always the claws.
Peace out.
Peace.
See ya.